Tangerine taught me about death, or the first time I saw my mother cry. I have scattered memories from the early years of my life, staring out the window on car rides, watching the scenery stream by, wrestling with and chasing my cousins around the house, tripping and skinning my knee on the first day of preschool, carrying my Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine lunchbox with pride to the first day of elementary school. But the most full, complete memory I have is when my other grandfather passed away towards the end of kindergarten. It was a Saturday. I found out he died when forming the 2 bunny ears on the strings of my jazz dance shoes. I had just learned how to tie a bow. I asked my mom if I could stay home that day. On Monday, everyone at school kept apologizing to me. "Oh, I'm sorry about your grandpa." How did they know? My friend told me that my father had emailed the class to alert them. Oh. My older cousin convinced the rest of us to dance at his funeral. It was too sad. The pastor kept saying that Granddaddy's soul will live on. I kept hearing he would always be with us, watching us from heaven, smiling down, always with us. I looked up at the stark white clouds that kept passing over a silky blue sky. Where was heaven, exactly? Was heaven up there, in a cloud, behind the smooth blue drapes? I asked my mom, and she told me that no, heaven was all around us, and that Granddaddy would always be inside me too. Inside me? He was inside me? Wrestling with grief the only way I knew how as a 5-year-old, I drew a smiley face on a tangerine with a Sharpie and declared it was Granddaddy. I held the tangerine up to the gorgeous sky, the bright orange sphere a perfect complement to the radiant blue, with a slender green leaf off a proud stem. Granddaddy could see this, I felt. He smiled at me, was with me. I truly felt I was holding him. I rushed the fruit into the fridge, wanting to prolong its longevity. I started bringing the smiley face tangerine out for every meal. Granddaddy agrees, I would add to every conversation. My mother said nothing until over a week had passed of seeing her powerful father reduced to a tiny fruit with a 5-year-old scrawled-on smile, an increasingly mushy, small orange with a leaf that was curling and starting to brittle and brown. She looked at me hard one day when I put Granddaddy Tangerine back in the fridge with a pat. When I looked up at her, her gaze softened. "Clearly pained," she said softly. "It hurts my feelings when you call the tangerine Granddaddy." I didn't understand what she was saying until I saw a tear sliding out of her right eye. I felt confused and scared. Mama was crying. This had never happened before, not that I had seen, which meant that it had never, ever happened before. I don't know what I said in response or how we sorted the situation. All I know is that she understood. She understood I wasn't trying to mock her father. I was trying to keep him with us in the only way I could fathom how. And so, Granddaddy Tangerine stuck around for nearly a month until One day, I opened the fridge door, and Granddaddy Tangerine wasn't there. I started panicking, running everywhere. Where was he? My babysitter had thrown him in the trash. The fruit was getting moldy, she explained. It was time to say goodbye. You're lying! He wasn't moldy, I yelled. I sobbed and threw a huge temper tantrum. I didn't get to say goodbye, I screamed. I didn't get to say goodbye! But Granddaddy Tangerine, like Granddaddy, had disappeared for good. And whether the real Granddaddy is smiling down from heaven or inside me or wherever, and though I've made peace with the grief of losing him and other loved ones who have passed, I miss him immensely. I don't even know if saying goodbye to him would have helped me process. I was 5 after all. How could I conceptualize the meaning of death? It would have felt like any of the other times that we said goodbye. Temporary. But I guess once the tangerine was whisked away by a garbage truck, never to be seen again, I finally understood. Granddaddy was gone.